Hey everybody, Mike Prill here from the National Tech Team, and in this video I want to do a quick overview of the new Technology tab inside of the event form. So if you open up a new event, you'll have a Technology tab that's there now, and it has several sections to it, so I want to kind of go over them. In the first section, this is for the territory tech info, and so this is basically if this particular event needs some technology things from the territory, then they would fill in this blank here, fill in these boxes. So they say, yes, we need some kind of tech support. The person for this event that's going to be the on-site point of contact for anything technical would be in here. If there's anything that needs to get shipped, you would hit this to yes. Like if you need a territory tech kit, for example, and then any shipping information would go in here, the date that you're hoping to get it by. And then this field is like all the other tabs where it's the full plan for the event. So all the who, what, where, when. And this field is used in a couple different places for everyone to be able to see what's needed in terms of technology for this particular event. So the full big Mamma Jamma plan would go in here. If you're ordering equipment from the territory, you would fill in the blanks here. So you'd say, yes, I need one territory tech kit. I need 2 DA kits. I need 3 individual laptops, 1 individual phone, and I need this other stuff. So be careful when you're putting in individual things. If you can get it from a kit instead, it's probably better to order the kit, but that's up to each territory. If you need something from National Tech, then you would fill in this block here. So if you need National Tech support or anything shipped from the NOC, for example, then you'd flip these to yes. And then as the NOC is doing their thing, they'd put in the various tracking numbers for when it's coming out to the event, and then eventually they'd put the tracking number for when it's going back to the NOC, or somebody would. And then, of course, the date that you're hoping to get the things by. And, be sure to fill this out well in advance so that they can try to actually get all these things in. Now, if I save, it's not going to let me save because I don't have anything up here. Let me pause it. I'll put in the generic stuff it's looking for, and then we'll be right back. Okay, it was complaining about all the fields that I hadn't filled out yet, so let's try to save it again here. And if you put in a tracking number, then the Technology tab will automatically update these URL fields. And then you can hit this little box right here, and these are not real tracking numbers, obviously, but if they were, they would go to this website, which appears to allow you to put in any tracking number, and it will come back with the correct service. So it's kind of a global tracking thing. We'll see how well that works. If you are ordering stuff from National, then we've broken it into 2 different sections. So here is all the kits. So if you hover over each of these, they'll have a little bit of a blurb about what they contain. A printer kit, for example, also comes with the cables, any toner or ink, paper, etc. The Motorola kits, these are the radios, and so you want to make sure that you take a look at these. And if you pick a Motorola kit, it'll also trigger another workflow where it looks at the FCC regulations, and if you're in a state that has a potential FCC regulation, it'll just send a note to National Technology, and then they can come take a look at the location and make sure that it's not near the border that we have to worry about. And here's a better example of what I'm talking about. There's a line called Line A, and anything north of that, or anything really near that line, we have to double check to make sure that the radio system that the NOC can send out is not going to interfere with Canada. And same with Line C in Alaska. If there's an event that's east of this line or north of this line, then we have to really look at it to make sure that we're not going to accidentally be overwriting another country's, basically they're the same frequencies that we all share. So back in the tab here, so you'd fill out the number of things you need from the NOC. And these are all the kits, but if you need individual items, you'd fill that out down here instead. So there are certain cases where people just need, 3 extra phones because they have some for their normal kit from the territory, but they just need 3 more for whatever reason. And so these are for individual requests, and it also has all the satellite gear in here. But be forewarned, anytime anybody requests any satellite gear, you're likely to get a call from National Technology to just talk through the situation to make sure that you get sent the correct stuff. Like the other tabs like Logs, Finance, and Training, and Communications, there is a territory rep. And so let me pick my test metro here. And then we should get a technology rep. eventually it'll pop in. These are populated by the master lists, and so the people that are master list editors are already familiar with how the system works, but in general, you can have a tech rep now at the metro level or state or region or territory. And if it's blank at a lower level, it'll go up until it finds somebody. Or if you choose not to use this anytime soon, then it just will never find anybody and it'll leave that blank, which is fine. If it's blank, though, then ultimately the approvers are responsible for the accuracy or the double checking of all this stuff. They're actually always responsible for the accuracy of the entire event, but they tend to rely on the reps in order to actually, make it look good. So as this person here is taking a look at what is needed, they would be working with the event lead. They would come in here and say that either changes are recommended or that they support the plan. And they would also rarely say that the check is in progress, in case people are looking for that information. They'd put in whatever notes. And when they hit save, this will, after a few seconds, this should update to have a timestamp. Let's take a look there. There's my timestamp. And then once the overall event is actually approved, in fact, let me submit for approval here. And then we'll go ahead and approve it. So now that it's approved, that's when it will actually send the message to National Tech. So National Tech does not see anything until the overall event is approved, and that's when they will start, paying attention to this event, versus Territory Tech will start paying attention as soon as it's submitted for approval. So the event lead will immediately see the name of the person and they can go work with that person, but this person will not get an email until the overall event is set to submitted for approval. That's how all the rest of the tabs work as well. So then if there's something here for National Tech, they'll come take a look. We've got some options here for them as well. So they can either say that the equipment is not actually needed, so it's NA, or the equipment was approved and they're going to send everything that was requested, or it was partially approved, which means either they didn't have enough to ship out, or if somebody ordered something like, we need 5 VSATs and it doesn't meet the right criteria, then they might come back and set this to partially approved if they send you something else but not something that you requested. And they'll put notes into here as to why they're sending whatever they're sending. And then when they hit save, it will come in and populate their approval here as well, or their review date. And it actually takes a few seconds. There we go. And that's it. So the tab itself is pretty much in line with all the rest of the tabs. I think it's going to take a little while for the territories to get used to it and change their current strategy, which is fine. It's here now for the people that want to start taking advantage of it. And it's also here so that National Tech has a better view of all the stuff that's getting requested. So for now, we built a system view called Tech Territory Support Requested. And this will show all the different territory level events. At least it's a beginning, it's a start of a view. And then the territory tech people can take this view, whittle it down to just their territory, and save off their own view if they want. But that way they can see some of the information here, and of course they can make custom views to show the rest. National Technology will have something very similar where they're looking at all the things that are requiring National Tech stuff, and that way they can have a running list of everything that's being requested, make sure they're able to fulfill it as best they can. That's it for this video. Let me know if you have any questions, comments. Go through your change ambassadors as well if you have questions, so that they can talk to the other territories and see. We'll see over time kind of how this gets utilized and what changes people are looking for. Thanks.